After months of panicked emergency sessions in Europe, which has led nations to surrender their sovereignty and kill their citizens, all in an effort to protect a vicious banking system, Brussels today unveils its latest fascist proposal to give itself even more authority over the national economies and budgets of the Eurozone countries, as if the grand infusion of Goldman Sachs agents into the prime ministership and other leading positions inside the governments of European nations is not enough. And indeed, it wasn't enough, and it never will be enough. The plans today to demand governments to submit their national spending plans to European Union authorities for approval before parliaments are even allowed to vote on their own budgets, as well as the right to have a supranational European Commission send fiscal inspectors to monitor fiscally wayward countries, is another despicable blow to the national sovereignties of European nations, which, at the end of the day, while it will succeed in destroying peoples and countries, will not save the system. And they know it. The rapid toppling of governments, one after another, and the rapid exposure of one nation after another to the banking contagion proves it. With the collapse of Spain and Italy, the days of delusional fantasy that the crisis is only contained in the smaller nations of Ireland, Greece, and Portugal are over. As a matter of fact, many already know that it's already too late in the game, even for the cuts and austerity maneuvers dictated to governments. Now, that doesn't mean that they would stop. The British monetary empire can't afford for nations to go rogue. But at this point, they're turning to more desperate measures, viciously pursuing the option of massive money printing provided by the European Central Bank and Germany as the last resort to plug the hemorrhaging of their banking system. The pressure is coming on Germany from all sides to accept the hyperinflationary Eurobonds option, with the British Empire's Financial Services Authority head, Lord Adair Turner, making a personal visit into Frankfurt, Germany, calling on the Eurozone to issue Eurobonds so that it could hit the presses and let the quantitative easing begin. But even that is only one plug in an already sinking ship, as money and options are running out. For the British, World War III is the final solution. And although their plans have been exposed and rejected by leading military and related circles inside the United States and around the world, they're still in a race against time. They will have to succeed in igniting World War before their system goes completely under. Because if they don't, their millenniums-old system of oligarchy risks being abandoned and replaced. And that is one thing they cannot have. As it stands, with the intent of World War made clear to various leading circles around the world, pressure is building for the potential ouster of President Obama as an igniter of war acting on behalf of the British. However, on our part, in order to successfully overthrow such an empire once and for all, we ourselves can no longer afford to be subjects to their oligarchical system of slavery. Now is the time to know your enemy and know them well, as Mr. LaRouche does. The fact that nations and peoples can be so easily manipulated to fall in line in a drive for world war is reflexive of the stupidity which the oligarchical principle has infected us with and has capitalized on since the times of the Peloponnesian War, where countries, leaders, and populations can be pitted against each other, all in the service of one benefactor, the empire. The same goes for global starvation, epidemics, pestilence, and other expressions of the empire to contain and depopulate the human species. However, it's not that our enemy lies in the military might of another country, or in the virus or bacteria that causes a pandemic, or the natural disaster that wreaks havoc. The enemy lies in the ruling power that has degraded us as a human species to not be able to understand the true principles behind these things. and only under those conditions can the empire employ war, famine, pestilence for their purposes. These concepts will be further elaborated today, so stay tuned for the weekly report with Lyndon LaRouche later this afternoon. This is Diana Wong signing off.